Hey guys, welcome to day 7 of Vlogust. I cannot believe it has already been 7 days. Like, this is flying. I am happy to see August flying through. Hopefully it flies through quickly because I'm tired of this heat. Like, it is so hot. And I keep checking the temperature, like it's what I do every morning. Like when I look at my phone, I check the time, and then I look at the I check the weather app. And today, oh no, because I look ahead and I want to see like the latest, like the farthest that the temperature they have, where I can see when it starts to cool. In 10 days, it's going to be 112. I want August to end. This heat is just, it's too much. When it's this hot, I cannot be productive. So I'm just looking forward to the weather cooling finally. All right, I'll stop ranting about the weather because, yeah, I guess why it's so on my mind because I'm waiting a little bit later in the day. It's like 5 o'clock now, and I turned off the AC and I turned off the fans so I could record because I know the sound in the background is just so noisy. So it's like trying to turn off a little bit of it to make it sound better, but then I just complain about the heat, huh? All right, so I've been complaining about the heat way too long. So let's look at my crochet whips. So this is my Critters Crochet blanket. I'm having so much fun with this project. So I was sitting on the floor earlier with Cody, and I was planning to sit there and just finish up this last section because the new stitch is coming up tomorrow. So originally I wanted to have this done so tomorrow I'd be ready for the new stitch. But I mean, I have a whole week, so I don't need to technically finish this today. So I was just sitting on the floor and I was crocheting, just crocheting. And also, I love how this pattern is like these diagonals. I think this is such a cool pattern. So I was just crocheting along, sitting on the floor, crocheting. And then I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if you can see this. These ones line up very nicely. These ones don't. I messed up, but I messed up like a long way back. So I was looking at this and I'm like, to fix it, I need to frog this last row back, frog the single crochet row all the way back, and then come back frogging with that repeat row where it has like the little two that stick out. So yeah, I was gonna frog it right when I found it, but I was like, you know, you guys can share my pain with me. You guys will comfort me as I go through. And, you know, I'm going to put a stitch marker where I need to stop frogging because, yeah. Let me grab my stitch markers. Oops. So I keep my stitch markers just in this little jar that I picked up from Dollar Tree. $1.25 tree. I miss it being just $1. That was so nice. All right, so let's see where I messed up. Right here. I was like, I probably should have put this in before I started frogging, but yeah, so I need to frog back to here. And I know my yarn is going to be a tangled mess, but whatever. Just gonna frog it. I have frogged this blanket so many times, like, I don't know. Okay, so this is a single crochet row, so I can just keep going through this whole thing. And now I'm coming back up to the mistake. So what I did wrong, I'm supposed to be putting 2 or 3 crochets between each of the repeats, but I put 4 and it totally messed up the pattern. Like, I would think that 1 single crochet wouldn't make that huge of a difference, but it totally did. All right, so I'm to my stitch, just about, and let me take out the messed up part. Okay, that's diagonal, just making sure. That's diagonal. I'm going to go back to right here. because these ones look fine. All right, so I frogged out just this much. I mean, it's not that much, I guess, but still. So I am gonna, hopefully at least, I'm probably not gonna finish the repeat tonight or finish this section of my blanket tonight, but at least I hope that I crochet this back in. All right, so that is pretty much gonna be it for my current crochet whips, because I didn't really do any other crochet today, because today was a Cody day, and I'll give you guys an update on that when we get to Cody update time. Shop update, same as it has been, doing some teacher badges mostly. I do have a lot of new vinyls that I want to make some teacher badges out of, since those tend to do really well at the beginning of the school year. So I have some fun like hippie ones, like tie-dye ones that I do want to make and get those added. I have so many ideas for things I need to do, and I need to just like focus and get those done. And I think now that Cody's had his first splint change, that things will be easier for me to focus on. Up next, while we're talking about Cody update time. So Cody had his very first scheduled splint change today, and it went amazing. Like, thank you guys. I know you guys were out there sending me prayers and positive thoughts, because the procedure went amazing. Even the vet was like, it was so easy. Cody actually got to come home early because he was so good. I dropped him off at 8 o'clock, and when I dropped him off, I was trying to just keep myself really busy. So I was like, I'm going to make myself a special breakfast, my, stressed pancakes. So I made some pancakes with some blueberries and bananas and ate that. Delicious. And then I focused on a deep clean. So I started off with like my guinea pigs, and I cleaned their cages, and I'll try to pop up a picture of them, my little other babies. And then after I did the guinea pigs, I just started working on just cleaning up Cody's room, and I wanted that to be like perfect for him. And I was doing the floors, mopping, scrubbing everything, and the phone rings at about 12. And I'm like, no ways done, because I'm thinking that Cody's probably not going to be back home at the earliest, maybe 2, but more likely 4 o'clock. And I hear my phone, so I run back in here, grab it, look at it, and I see it's the vet number. And at first I'm like a little bit nervous, because I'm like, ooh, this is calling early. Usually if if a vet or doctor or something, if they're calling very early, usually that's kind of a bad sign. But no, I picked up, and it was one of the vet receptionists. Very, very nice. Everyone at this vet is amazing. And yeah, she's like, Cody's all done. You can come pick him up. And I'm like, already? I'm not even done cleaning his room. And yeah, so got to pick him up, and really surprised. I go there, pick him up, they hand me the carrier, I peek in, and I see his little leg is pink. So he actually got a pink cast today, and they were saying, since Barbie movie was coming out, that they wanted to give him a Barbie inspired cast or splint. So yeah, I was really happy to see that. I thought it was so adorable. His first splint was green. No, the first one was blue, the second one was green, and now he has a pink one. I love the pink one. I think it's so cute on him. Yeah, so he's doing great. He's feeling great. He was just kind of acting strange. Like, he sometimes I feel like he acts like a little kid. Like, he does little things. I was sitting in there with him, and we were just watching YouTube together, and I was crocheting on my blanket, having a great time, and Cody was in his spot. And then just for no reason, like, he kicked his leg out the cast, just really hard, straight behind him. And I thought that was a little bit strange. Like, I was kind of a little bit worried, like, maybe he's uncomfortable. And he did that once, and then he stood up and he reversed. And he reversed really close to the wall, and then he laid back down, and then he shot his leg with the cast back out again and just slammed it right into the wall. And I'm like, that has to hurt. That has to hurt, right? His leg is broken, but it's in a splint. And then he does the same thing again. He just shoots his leg out super hard and just like crashes it right into the wall. You just hear that cast hitting the wall. And he does it 3 times. And then I look at him and I'm like, Cody, stop that. And he just looks up at me. And then he looks at the rug, because I gave him a fresh rug because I wanted everything to be clean. And he starts trying to rip it with his mouth. He just starts picking it up, trying to tear the rug. And I don't know, I think maybe because I didn't feed him last night, because I couldn't, because he was going to be sedated, and then he didn't eat this morning because, you know, he was going to be sedated, and I think maybe he was just grumpy because of that, and he was like just throwing a little tantrum. But yeah, when he got home, like, that's the first thing he did. I opened his carrier and he just made a beeline for his bowls of food. I had him 2 different flavors and he was just like crunching both of them down. So yeah, he is doing great. Right now he's napping. You know, I sat in there with him a while and just crocheted and watched YouTube together, and then he fell asleep. And once he fell asleep, he's been pretty much knocked out the whole time. So he's just napping now. I see him, you know, when he hears something, he'll look up. I see his little face looking at me. And yeah, all of his siblings, they all came up as soon as he got home, and they were all checking in on him and everything, which is so, so sweet. So yeah, Cody is doing great. So thank you guys all. Thank you so, so much for all that you're doing to help me through this really difficult time. I really appreciate it so much. And the last thing that I want to check in with you guys about is my crochet pattern of the day. And this one is thanks to one of you. So thank you, Tracy. Hopefully you can see it. It is these adorable flower granny squares. And this is by Yarn Geek. New channel that I hadn't found. Well, not new, but just new to me. So I didn't know about this channel before, and thank you guys so much for sharing it with me. I think these granny squares are so cute. I love that they're made in this super, super bright yarn. And I know these are made like for like a Halloween sampler. I don't personally do anything with Halloween, but these are just cute. So I'm like jumping on this. And I love things that are retro, things that are like the 70s, anything like hippie, you know, the VW bus van, like all of that stuff. I love, like, anything hippie, I'm gonna love it. So when I saw these, that's the first thing I had in mind, was like, make a whole bunch of these, turn them into a blanket, and I have like a hippie blanket for my room. That is so cute. And what also reminded me of these was an attempt at a blanket for my cats that I made. And I don't know how to quilt. My grandma was a quilter. She was an everything crafter. She did everything related to crafting. And quilting is something I have not picked up yet. I want to get into quilting so bad. But I do embroidery, and this is a quilt that I made using embroidery. I don't know how to quilt, but I know how to use an embroidery machine. So this is made with an embroidery machine, and it's for my cats. And it is this small little quilt made with different fabrics, and these are all fabrics that I picked up at Walmart. They were all fat quarters. The flowers, these were like a pack of 5, and it came with 5 different colors, so I used those. Was it 5 or was it more? It might have been more. I think it was 5. Yeah, so these are all just fabrics that I picked up from Walmart, and I stitched out each of the panels on my embroidery machine. So each panel, there's different sizes, like this one is the largest size, and this one is the smallest size, and this was a pattern by Sweet Pea Embroidery Designs. And yeah, so I just stitched out each of the panels, and then I used a sewing machine to sew them together, and then very messily I put a backing on it, but yeah, just for my cats. So when I saw that flower granny square, that it just immediately reminded me of this project and just made me want to make a crochet blanket, because I love crochet blankets. Are just the best. They're the most comfy blankets ever. So yeah, so thank you for that, adding that to my list of things to make, which is getting so bigger. And one thing I really want to get started on, Paris Crochet Flow, she did this amazing video on using the iPad app called Notability, and I want to start tracking all of my to make projects on there, because right now they're kind of just like floating around in my head, and I know I'm going to start forgetting them. So I want to go back to that tutorial that Paris Flow Crochet, she did a tutorial on how to use Notability, and I've had the app for a while, but I've just never gotten into it. So I want to start some different journals of just like tracking pretty much everything. And one of the things I want to do right now is just start a journal of things that I want to make. And I think doing that on Notability will be so much fun. And I also want to just start tracking the things like as I make them, like, you know, just start posting in some pictures of the progress along the way and just kind of have like a journal, a diary of my crochet. And yeah, so I'm going to go back to that video, check it out, and hopefully I'll get that done pretty soon. We'll start it pretty soon because it's going to keep growing, because you guys keep giving me so many projects that are just so beautiful, and I don't want to forget them or, you know, like just not think about them. I want to have them in a place when I'm looking for a new project, I can just go back to it and check it out. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be working on soon. I have been rambling on for way too long, as normal. I don't know, my rule for like making my Vlogust be only 5 minutes, yeah, that didn't work. But I am sticking to posting every day, so hey, I'm doing that. So yeah, so that's going to be it for me today. So thank you guys so much for always liking, commenting, subscribing, and all that stuff. I appreciate it so much. I am a little bit behind on commenting. I do read all the comments like immediately, but for me, like, I like to actually, like, when I reply to you, I like to like sit down and have a keyboard when I reply, so that way I can give, you know, I want to really reply and not just like, because I know like YouTube, it gives you like that little like just click here to say thank you. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to actually type my reply. So yeah, so I am a little bit behind on replying. I'm gonna get started on that. I haven't read all of the comments so far, but I need to go back through and just start, you know, actually typing up my responses to you guys, because it's such a fun thing to do. I really enjoy it so much. So this is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys all, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great, great day, and love you all. Bye, guys.